All right, welcome back to Vail Valley Live. We have a special treat for you now, all the way from California. We have one of the performers that you're going to find this Thursday at Beaver Creek Unplugged. It's a weekly series that they've been doing all summer long, and they're bringing in Ambrosia. And on the phone right now, on the line, we have Joe Puerta. And Joe, good morning. How are you in California today?
I'm doing great, thank you. Looking forward to getting out there back to Denver. It's in Colorado, I should say. We're going to be doing 3 shows out there, so really looking forward to this.
Oh yeah, and to have this band come together and to play up in the mountains. Now, have you spent much time in Colorado? I understand that your band has some ties here.
Well, Doug Jackson, who plays guitar with us, yeah, he grew up there in Evergreen, I think is
Yep,
the city
yep.
or
Mhm.
town he was from, and yeah, he's very very tight up there. His folks live in Golden, and so he goes back to Colorado every chance he can get to visit with the family and just to have time to ski. And he's a real outdoors guy, so he loves it out there.
Okay, well, good. We're glad that he's bringing you all along. The weather's been great here.
Yeah.
You're gonna be playing an
Oh,
outdoor
good.
show. Now, you
Great.
are up at altitude, Beaver Creek, right around 9,000 feet above sea level.
Well, we believe it or not, we live in San Diego County, and everybody thinks San Diego. You think the beach.
Yeah.
We're at 4,700 feet.
Okay.
We're in the hills or mountains
Yeah.
of San Diego. We do have mountains here in California, as you know, and so we're up pretty high ourselves, but it's not. How high did you said 9,000?
Oh, yeah, right around 9,000 feet over at Beaver Creek, or maybe about 8,000, 82, I think is what it is.
Okay,
So,
so it's still a bump, but
yes,
that,
yes.
but at least I got a little bit of altitude training, I guess you could say, living up
Yeah,
here. Yeah.
oh, definitely. Now, let's talk about the band. You guys got your start over 50 years ago, and tell us how this band was formed.
Gosh, started off right out of high school. I joined my first quote original music band. It was a band
Yeah,
that was trying to just write their own songs, and that's where I started writing songs. And I became the principal writer of that band.
yeah,
But somewhere along the line, we decided we wanted to have another vocalist. So a guy that I had been in bands in high school with, I invited into this band. His name was David Pack.
okay.
So David and I eventually started changing out the members of that band. It just became Dave and I. And we brought in a guy I went to high school with named Chris North,
Okay.
keyboard player, organist. And the drummer we had, actually, he was on the verge of getting married. He had a kid already, and we were like 19 years old. We go, we need somebody who's free to go after this
Yeah.
big prize we're going for. So we looked in something called a musicians contact service. It was a place in Hollywood where they just had lists of people who were musicians.
Kind of the
We
yellow
looked down the
pages of the day.
pages and pages of drummers, and we came across this name, Burley Drummond. We thought, wow, what a great name
Yeah.
for a drummer. He probably can't play because that's just too good a name for a drummer. So we called him up, we met with him, and he was a great guy. And then we invited him to come do a rehearsal with us, or just a jam, really. And we started off playing, just improvising. I don't think we stopped for like an hour and a half. We
Wow.
just kept improvising and improvising, but kind of like what the Grateful Dead does, but make it an hour and a half jam, not 10 minutes.
Yeah,
So we were
definitely.
real excited about getting him in the band. And that was the nucleus of the band, the 4 of us. Yeah.
Well, and then you
And
went
3 of the
on.
4 are still together. Yeah, which is pretty good after 50 years to say that.
Exactly, and then, all the nominations with the Grammys, and then the different collaborations anywhere from Bruce Hornsby, or maybe it was Ellen Parsons, Michael McDonald, Edgar Winter, Kurt Vonnegut. I mean, it must have been fun
Oh,
to just
good. I'm
kind of.
glad you know Kurt Vonnegut. Sometimes, we'll announce, and this song was co-written with Kurt Vonnegut. People kind of look at us like, who's that? He's one of the greatest writers of the 20th century. I mean, he was an amazing writer, and I loved his work. And to
Yeah,
be able to say, I co-wrote lyrics with
yeah,
Kurt Vonnegut, because he wrote the first verse. Well, actually, not written for us. We took it from his book, Cat's Cradle. I thought, hey, I think these lyrics will work because we were looking for lyrics for a song, and I just started put the book out. I said, a sleeping drunkard in Central Park. Nice, very nice. It all fit just
yeah.
magically. And then I thought, well, I got to write second verse. and I came up with a whirling dervish, dancing bear part. So, but that's I think on my tombstone someday. That's when I was co-wrote with Kurt Vonnegut and Burt Bacharach. I have a
Oh,
Burt
yes.
Bacharach co-write too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
for the movie Arthur.
oh,
It's kind of
yes.
a interesting story because the record company came to us. Uh, Actually, we were on tour and they came on the bus and they had a little cassette tape of a song. They said, "We'd like you to do this song possibly for this movie coming out." And the song was called "When You Get Lost Between the Moon and New York City."
Oh, the
And they asked us to
okay.
do it. And one of the guys in the band, I won't say who, said, no, it sounds too much like Killing Me Softly. So we passed on it. And I think I'm going to say to my own credit, I think it could be a hit.
Yeah,
Won the Academy Award.
and then Christopher Cross
So
got it.
yeah,
Oh
but
my
Chris
God.
did such a great job.
Yeah,
I can't really say, what would have happened, but
yeah.
it
Well,
was offered to us at one time.
what's really interesting is a whole new generation is getting to learn the songs, How Much I Feel, Biggest Part of Me, kind of because of the yacht rock and everything that's going on.
Exactly.
Isn't that funny?
It's it's been great. It's brought in a whole new audience. I mean,
Yeah,
um, obviously you're a lot younger and you are aware of it
yeah,
because this yacht rock phenomenon has brought back this style of music, which I think what's missing in contemporary music for a lot of people are the melodies and the harmonies
yeah,
and just the way even the organic tracking of the music because everything now pretty much is done on computers.
yeah.
It's not a bunch of people getting in a room anymore and working out a track and seeing what works between the drummer and the bass and
Yeah.
the little subtleties that create a kind of different, it's an organic sort of feel to the music. Everything now is very precise and beautiful and works great, but it's all done, and on a computer
Yeah.
primarily. There's not that many people converging into one room to create a track. It's somebody. If you even look on the credits for writing, there'll be 7 writers. Somebody does something at their house, then they send the
Yeah.
file to someone else, and they do a little addition.
That was even
And it,
before COVID, right?
yeah, it really is, and it's
Yeah.
continued. And so
Okay.
I think people kind of sense there's something in that, just the way it was created.
Yeah,
That was
definitely.
organic.
So what can we expect on Thursday's show at Beaver Creek? What are you gonna be playing?
Well, of course, we're going to be doing all those hits that you
Yeah,
talked about. Biggest part of me, how much I feel. You're the only woman.
yeah.
And another song that's not quite yacht rock, but it was our first hit record, and it was the first place we ever heard that our manager came into our. We were rehearsing in a garage. We were getting ready to go out on a tour on our first album, and he said, "Your song, Holding On, just went to #1 in
Oh.
Denver."
Oh, no
And we were
way.
like, "What? We're #1? We're the #1 song on the radio in Denver?" And it was like, we'll never forget that. That was
Yeah,
like a huge moment you could imagine for us from being this unknown band that you're just rolling the dice and see what happens, and somebody comes in and says you're #1. It's like,
yeah.
that was extraordinary.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, what a great career you guys have had, and you're still going strong. I mean, it's neat to have you touring across the nation and having you at Beaver Creek. So, anything you want to say to the viewers who are thinking about coming out?
Well, just get ready for a wide variety of music.
Mhm.
Certainly all the hits, but we're going to be pulling out a few different things here. It's not going to be, by the way, all unplugged. We're going to
Yeah,
be using all our gear, real
I was
drums and
wondering about
everything.
that. Yeah, it's gonna be the
We
plugged-in
weren't
version.
really sure because I think what we're going to do is throw in some more of the acoustic things that we've done over the years.
Okay.
And Doug, by the way, is an incredible acoustic guitar player.
Oh,
So one of the things I really want him to do is something where he just gets on the guitar and just does this incredible
okay.
solo work that he's put out albums of, and he's phenomenal on that. So
Okay.
that'll be a big thrill.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. I hope to be there. So it's going to be 5 to 7, everybody, on Thursday, July 27th. It is Ambrosia, Joe Puerta with us this morning. And thank you for your time today. I know that
Thank
we've
you,
been,
Tricia, and
yeah,
looking forward to Looking forward to meeting you in person.
Okay, perfect. I'll come on by. All right, thanks so much for your time. So once again, it is
Thank
Beaver
you.
Creek Unplugged, and it'll be Thursday, July 27th, and from 5 to 7. So a great time to go maybe after your hike and before dinner to stop by the plaza at Beaver Creek.